I really enjoyed Wisecrackers. As bad as some of the jokes were, some of them were actually very well written. And by bad, I mean nasty. But actually, some of the comedy was really well crafted. This is the first segment of the 29th episode of the first season of Baby Looney Tunes. And Melissa Duck is telling jokes. And the jokes, unfortunately, are at the expense of other characters. I think it was Sylvester who she first started to make fun of, and she said that Tweety taught Putty Tat, which was a nice little nod to classic Looney Tunes. And she makes fun of Sylvester. The other babies think it's quite funny. And Bugs does say at one point, you got to learn to laugh at yourself, which I think is good advice, but there is, there's a limit. There's a fine line between helping somebody to laugh at themselves and just making fun of them. But in general, that is nice advice. But Melissa Duck takes it too far. And what she said to Daffy was awful, but very clever, and it is very well written. And then she makes fun of Granny, which I thought was a bold move. Thankfully, Granny's, well, she's got thick skin and it didn't seem to bother her, but she could see that this was going to affect the other babies if she makes fun of them. And soon, nobody wants to spend any time with Melissa Duck. How is she going to solve the problem? I've just remembered the joke about the smoke alarm. I think it's quite a classic joke, but it still amused me. I won't say exactly how the episode is resolved, but I will say that Granny helped to guide Melissa Duck in the right way, and I feel like everything flowed really well. The narrative took a really good direction. Some of the things Melissa Duck said were very clever, and I have to say, quite funny. Thankfully, it's an animation. I can laugh guilt-free, because in real life, some of the things would actually be quite mean. But you do have to learn to laugh at yourself to a degree. But at the same time, words can hurt. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. Very, very, very well written. With a really nice pace. And Melissa Duck was an interesting choice because, let's say, had it been Daffy telling the jokes, there could have been malicious intent. Daffy is quite a nasty character sometimes. Whereas Melissa never really does anything intentionally to hurt anybody. So I think picking her as the protagonist was a good choice. Because it was clear that she didn't really know she was being nasty. She just thought she was being funny. And of course, when all of the babies except the baby she's hurting is laughing with her, that's fuel. And that's something that she had to learn was not acceptable. But I liked it. I thought it was a really good episode. Wisecrackers is definitely well written, but also with a really important message in there too.